Hi everybody, David here, and today I'm going to talk about Achilles pain or calf strain. Both can kind of go hand in hand, and these exercises are very quick and very easy, but first we need to talk about why you have the pain. Anytime you have Achilles or calf pain, it means the calf or Achilles is working too hard. That means that there's too much stress in that area. And why would that be? It always has to do with your posture. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to close your eyes. You're going to notice where your weight distribution is right now, right as you're standing. So close your eyes and just feel, does it feel towards your toes? Does your weight distribution feel more on one leg than the other? Or does it feel more back towards your heels? Does it feel inside your feet or inside one foot than the other? More on one foot than the other. So just get a sense of where your weight distribution is, and what you're going to notice is that there's a difference. You're going to notice a difference in weight and pressure in your feet. And if you don't notice that, that's okay. It's there, I promise, but that's okay if you don't notice it. But what you do want to notice then, of course, is the tension. Where's the tension right now in your body? Is there pressure in your calf? Is there pain? Just get a sense of it right now, because in a few minutes it's going to go away. I always talk about the emotional component when it comes to pain as well. There's the physical component, the posture. From a postural standpoint, we know that Achilles pain, calf pain is always about weight more towards your toes, or there's a big rotation in your hip, which is shooting the weight forward or on the inside of the foot. So a lot of times the postural cause has to do with the body weight moving forward, the center of gravity moving forward, and the calf working too hard. So if you notice, you stand up, move your weight towards your toes, and you'll notice your feet push down and your calf muscles grab on immediately to counterbalance to keep you from falling forward. You don't want to fall on your face, and those calf muscles are there to help you do that. They're also there to propel you forward. So the calf muscles and Achilles is there to propel you forward. They are plantar flexors. They point your foot down. And so when you're walking, it pushes off. They're the push-off muscles, so to propel you forward. So the question from an emotional standpoint is, where in your life are you afraid of moving forward? Is there anywhere that you're hesitant about stepping forward into a new role at work or a new relationship, or anything that you feel kind of this fear or hesitation in making a decision or in moving forward in your life? So just something to think about. If it's there, just meet it head on, be honest with yourself, and go after it. And in the meantime, we'll work on these postural muscles to bring your weight back, to take off the pressure on your calf and help you feel better. Okay, so here we go. First exercise, you're gonna lay down on your back. You're gonna grab underneath your right knee. And it doesn't really matter which knee you start with. We'll start with the right. Left foot is going to point straight up towards the ceiling. Push your left knee down. Right knee is going to go right about here. You don't want it all the way up towards your chest. You just want it right about here, about 90 degrees or so, maybe a little less. And you're going to go big circles with your foot. Now, one thing that's important here is that you don't want your heel to drop towards your hips. Okay, you want this lower leg where the ankle is level with the knee. And you're going to go big circles. You don't want it up here either. You just want big circles, one direction. And remember which direction you're going, because you're going to change it in a second. We're going to go about 20 to 30 repetitions here. And the reason is you want to start to feel the work in your shin eventually and in your ankle. Okay, we're going to take off the pressure of your calf. We're going to move the work into the muscles that should be doing their job, which is the anterior muscles of your hip and your shin and your lower leg. Okay, now big circles, and when you get to 20 or 30, if you're not feeling it, go the other direction. Big circles. You're trying to get a full range of motion. And this isn't a race, okay? You're not trying to go as fast as you can. You want the whole range of motion. Even if you need to go slowly to do it, that's okay. So big circles. Relax your shoulders. And when you get to 20 or so, then you're going to pull it back and point it back and forth. And back and forth counts as one. And you want about 20 to 30 of those. And you should, by now, be feeling those ankle and foot muscles working pretty hard. and they should start to fatigue. If it feels like shin splints, that's because these are the muscles that work hard when you have shin splints. But you're not getting shin splints, you're just working the muscle. And these are muscles that don't often get enough work during the day. Okay, then you're going to switch legs. So right leg goes on the ground, left knee pulls up, not all the way to your chest, just about 90 degrees or a little closer to you. You're going to keep that right foot pointing straight up. You don't want it rolled all the way out. Right foot's going to point up towards the ceiling. Left foot is going to circle, big circles, one direction. Relax your shoulders. Big circles, one way. And again, remember which way you're going, because you're going to switch it up in a second. Now, one thing about the foot circles is that they're deceptively difficult, as you're probably finding out now. And you might also notice that one side gets much more tired faster than the other side. And why is that? It's not because you're weaker on the side that's getting tired. It's actually a sign that your body's working too hard during the day on that side. And what I mean by that is that you'll notice that you stand more on one leg than the other, and this is an indication of the leg you likely stand on more, spend more time on during the day. Switch directions, big circles. Yep, already getting tired here for me, which is a good sign. Big circles, as big as you can go. Try and relax your shoulders. Remember that right foot pointing straight up towards the ceiling. And when you get to 20 or 30, if it's too easy for you, then point flex. Back and forth. And remember to keep that left heel level with that left knee. You don't want it dropping. And you really don't want this bottom leg shaking. You want to keep it totally still. No movement whatsoever in the leg, just the ankle, just the foot and ankle moving, that's all. Relax those shoulders. Okay, next, you're going to go on your hands and knees. We need to align the mid and upper back and the hips here. So you're going to start with your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Walk your hands forward about half a hand length, and you're going to move your shoulders forward over your hands. Now notice my hips just went ahead of my knees, which is what we want. Relax your feet out behind you, top of your feet on the ground. Then you're going to let your back sway. You're going to let your stomach drop towards the ground. Relax your stomach, let your lower back arch. And then last thing, you're going to drop your shoulder blades without bending your arms. So elbows stay straight, shoulder blades are dropped together, back is swayed, and head dropped. Drop your head. Let your head just fall, your chin towards your chest. Elbows straight again. Let your back sway and hips slightly ahead of your knees. You don't want your hips all the way up here. You're not doing a modified push-up. You're simply doing almost like a cat and cow, except that your hips are ahead of your knees and you're just holding this static position. Elbows straight, shoulder blades collapsed, back swayed. Don't forget to breathe. Head drop. We're going to hold this for about a minute, 2 minutes if it's easy for you. We're just going to hold it for a minute here. Again, let your back sway, shoulder blades drop. And relax. You're going to stay on your knees though. Okay, so anytime we have Achilles or calf pain, it means that you're avoiding the full range of motion of your hip joint as well. The calf and the Achilles are taking over for the powerful muscles in your hips that are designed to bring your leg behind you. So, on your knees, you're going to step forward with your right foot first. Both hands on your knee. And again, it really doesn't matter which side you start with. You're going to do both anyways. So, you're going to put both hands on your knees. Hips sink straight down, push your upper body back, and relax your shoulders. And again, drop your shoulders away from your ears. Top of your left foot should be on the ground. Hips sink forward and down until you feel a pretty good stretch in the front of that left thigh. And as you do this, you want your right knee to stay over your ankle or slightly behind it. you don't really want that knee to go way forward. It's just not necessary. So you want knee right over your ankle. So if you need to step forward more, do it. It's kind of like a modified lunge, but on your knee. Relax your shoulders, hips sink. You're just gonna hang out here for about a minute, maybe 45 seconds. Again, upper body should be straight up and down. You don't want your upper body to lean forward. Shoulder blades relaxed. Sink into it. Totally relax those shoulders. And let's switch legs. So left leg is going to step forward. Right knee is on the ground behind you. Let your hips sink forward and down. Right foot is on the ground. Top of your foot is on the ground. Sink down. Push your upper body back. Relax your shoulders. Don't forget to breathe. You want to relax that stomach all the way. If you want to take a few deep breaths here, great. Sometimes we measure the time in breaths. Sometimes we just measure it by time itself. So keep sinking down, upper body back. Relax your shoulders again. And about 45 seconds to a minute is all you need. Okay. Last exercise for this sequence. You're going to find a wall or a door or anything that you have near you. You're going to scoot as far back as you can. So you want your hips all the way against the wall or the door if you can. And you want your legs straight out in front of you. Now, if you can't get to this position, do the best you can. If you need to scoot away from the wall because it's your hamstrings are just way too tight, then that's okay. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to straighten out your legs. If you can get all the way back to the wall, great. Palms up on your thighs. Take your shoulder blades, squeeze them down and back. Head should be on the wall if it's comfortable. If not, don't worry about it. Shoulder blades are going to squeeze. Now, you're going to contract your thighs. Now, if this is putting a huge stretch in your hamstrings already, then your feet can be just relaxed, but pointed straight up towards the ceiling. In other words, you don't want them out here. You want those feet rolled in, those knees rolled in, so the knees are pointing straight up towards the ceiling. And keep pushing yourself back if you need to. Now, if you can, well, first, push your knees down towards the ground, thighs tight. If you can in this position, flex your feet back if it's comfortable. And by comfortable, I mean there should be no strain in your Achilles or your calf. You might feel a stretch, but if it's stretched, that's okay. If it's strained, that's not okay. And if it's strained, then you point your feet away from you instead. Take the pressure off that calf and the Achilles, push your knees down, and you just hang out like this. So, two choices. One is feet relaxed, but still pointing straight up rather than out here, or feet flexed back. And just choose which one feels the best to you in terms of no pain, absolutely no pain. Stretch is different. If you feel a stretch, we're okay with that. Stretch is good. And eventually, if you can't pull your toes back and flex your feet back, then eventually in the next couple days, you should be able to without strain or pain. So, palms up on your thighs, squeeze your shoulder blades back, thighs tight, and you're going to hang out right here for about a minute, maybe 2 minutes. See how it goes. Again, you want to breathe. Really contract those thigh muscles. Push those knees down towards the ground. You can see I've got my heels basically off the ground because my thighs are so tight. They're locking out those knees. Shoulder blades squeezed. Don't forget that. This is really going to change your posture. It's going to change your body. It's going to restore function to your hips. And it's going to lengthen the whole backside of your body. So this is a really great exercise all around for anything, but especially when you're having some calf issues or some Achilles issues. And this sequence should help you quite a bit. Okay, relax. Stand up here. Shake it out. Relax your shoulders. Close your eyes. Just notice where your weight feels right now. Does it feel towards your toes, towards your heels? Does it feel more equal, more even? Do you feel more upright? take a walk for a second and see how your calf feels or your Achilles feels. Hopefully it feels a lot better. You can do this every day, once a day, or a couple times a day if you want to. Go by feel, trust your body, and hopefully you'll feel a lot better very soon. But let me know how it goes. And if you want more of this, there's a lot more where this came from. So stay tuned, and thanks for joining me today.